Right! And
We can talk about whatever the fuck we want.
Yeah, and I always do the little discretion advised anymore at the beginning, so we're all fine. It's all fine. We're all fine here. How are you?
Well, I'm fine. Thank you very much. I think we're good to
Alex,
go.
let's do the damn countdown. So we can do
That's right.
3, 2, 1. This is an adult podcast with adult situations, or stream, or whatever the fuck it is. Viewer discretion is advised. Like I said, fuck right there.
Right.
Welcome. It is again Monday, the 22nd of June. This is TheBearNet. And we are here in our new clan mechs, all nice and shiny. And
Hell
this
yeah.
is definitely going to be a fun evening.
Nice and shiny isn't really, because I don't have any camo patterns that I can apply for free yet, even though I've spent $120, so they're not really shiny. They're kind of drab.
It's fine.
Always gotta complain
it's
about
fine.
something.
Oh, dude, have you seen the Buccaneer on the Ebon Jag?
No.
Well,
Oh, it looks good.
The virus looks pretty good on the Executioner.
Yeah.
moving through, we've got a quick match this time actually, but introductions. I am Jeremy, also known as Ghost.
Alright, wow, Sans isn't here. This is throwing off my
So
rhythm.
this totally throws out the rhythm.
I'm Alex, and/or Greg.
I'm Hikage and/or Julian.
I am TK Sachs, occasionally referred to as Dave or David.
That's
We're
right.
gonna Introduce
Oh,
our guest,
you would have a
but-
boring as shit name.
But he
yeah,
jumped right
he's
into it.
awesome, and is fantastic, and isn't a complete douche like some people we have on the show and require us to go and introduce them. Well done, TK. Well done.
Thank you.
Well, he just steps right into the poo. He doesn't bother to even
Like a
walk
ball.
around it.
Throwing
TK.
elbows to get in here, man.
Reactor
TK, I just vote we
online.
replace Sans with you
Sensors
right now.
online. Weapons online.
Just
Sans, we love you.
Online.
Just Sans comes back and he's like, "Hey, what's up, guys?" And we're like, "Nah, you better replace." And just
Yeah, we
don't
replaced you
worry
with
about
TK.
it. Don't worry about it.
Target acquired.
Got Alpha.
And Alpha, he's right here.
Man, that's good.
God damn it! I'm trying to fucking light my cig.
Heat
Don't
level
smoke and drive,
critical.
jackass.
Got that right torso on him.
New target.
Also got
acquired.
Bravo.
Executioners have mass. Does that make them capping mechs all of a sudden?
I guess.
Are we gonna chase these guys down?
You know, they're by themselves. Why
Yeah,
not
I'm
go
gonna cut him off
themselves?
in Epsilon. So yeah, let's talk about that
Plus,
match, shall we?
plus, what's that build?
How about that
Technically
segue?
faulted.
What'd you say?
Or we can just totally ignore the awesome segue that just occurred. That's cool, guys.
No, actually, I just wanted to talk about how terrible that build is for a second. The comedian
Okay.
pulse is on a 95 tonner, and now we can move on to math.
Well-
It's kind of the
Ooh,
most
almost got a
phenomenal thing in the
headshot.
world. As a note to our viewers, neither Hickage and I have both been playing the Executioner, but we were both playing the Executioner at the beginning of last week and not the end. So we both have no exactly idea how it's going to work with the changes that actually went into place, and the new center torso way. The armor is now spread around instead. I'd imagine it'd be better in pretty much every way, shape, and form, but we'll see.
Well, yeah, that thing was a giant CT on launch.
Yeah.
It was better, like I said, although I didn't have a huge amount of problems with it before because I was never
New
losing the side
target
torso
acquired.
and I was running right side heavy builds, so
Yeah.
it wasn't that big a deal.
Well, I mean, I guess the thing, like,
New
I remember
target
when the
acquired.
Helby first came out, and once
Oh,
again,
Oops.
points to where points get deserved. PGI once again put out a patch within like 48 hours of the Executioner going live to switch around some of that based off the player feedback. So, well done, PGI. Well
Yeah,
done.
good job on them.
Yeah, it was needed.
They got player feedback. They looked at the numbers, saw that there was a problem, and immediately corrected it. I always wonder what the testing phase looks like, though. Like, how did nobody else be like, man, and like this is the 10th match in a row I've played, and I've never lost a side torso. Like, how is that? How is that not a
They
conversation
should-
that pops up?
I would really wonder if they do a hitbox mapping, because I know we have some people in the community who do that.
Yeah.
I think it's more along the lines with just what you say. I think they can actually collect the stats on where it's being hit at directly. I don't think they have to sort through it like that cryptically or anything.
I do remember some guy on Reddit did like he just had a friend of his in a private match and they just kind of scanned over the mech to see where the hitboxes is. And what I learned from that video though was the Ebon Jaguar side torso actually goes further down the arm than you would have thought by looking at it.
Really?
So yeah, it's actually a little bit of that post. You know, kind of. So it's a little bit further down the arm than you think it is.
So what you're saying is the arms are really hard to pull off.
I think that's been true because I know people were saying they were losing their side torsos more than they were losing their arms. So
Where are these guys?
Wow, actually. I've lost my arms quite a few times, so. But shielding, you know.
So,
I got
want to move the conversation in another direction. So we've got new shit, right? New toys. We'll delve further into the new toys, but really it's kind of what we thought last week. The Executioner's a mixed bag. Mask is awesome, but right now, without having additional D-side torsos, at least this is my opinion anyway, without additional D-side torsos, the sadness is real.
New
And the
target
FJ.
acquired.
got a dire wolf out here.
So we have shiny new toys, right? And I played with the shiny new toys for 2 or 3 days, and then the Steam Summer Sale was going on, and I repurchased Fallout New Vegas, and have been playing that ever since. So here's my conundrum, right? And I'm going to specifically give this to TK to start with, because I'm not sure where he stands. I'm pretty sure I know where the other two do. But TK, what do you take many breaks from the game? Like, do you feel like it's fun all the time, or do you go play something else for like a week or two and then come back to it to keep it kind of fresh, or how do you go about
New
playing the
target
game?
acquired.
Yeah, I play. I mean, there was a time where this was the only game I played. But,
Target destroyed.
It depends. Right now, I've been playing a lot of Civ 5
Acquired.
and a couple other things. But yeah, I mean, I don't
Level
play this
critical.
every night, but I play this most nights.
New target acquired.
Okay. Now
Gauss ammo at 25%.
What feature or idea or what would actually want you to come back and play it
Heat
more
level
than you do
critical.
right now?
I think it's getting CW more fleshed out. I mean, I've been
Heat
playing
level
public queue
critical.
since closed beta. I mean, it's fun,
Right.
but it's.
New target acquired.
We've done it for 3 years. It's time to
Right.
move on.
But I'd love to see more people playing CW because I think I
New
do
target
enjoy CW
acquired.
a whole lot. It's just hard. When, like the other night, I was trying to get games and I ended up with 3 ghost drops. So it was just like, ugh.
So how would you suggest going about getting those?
Gauss ammo depleted. Target destroyed.
I think
New
adding
target acquired.
more depth, or
Airstrike
resources, or
online.
somehow that capturing planets gets you something in the game. Whether that's cheaper components for your unit or whatever.
So what
Oh.
you're saying is the introduction of rearm and reload.
Well, maybe not necessarily rearm or reload, but you
Target
get maybe
destroyed.
cheaper weapons on a certain planet. Maybe if you get Hesperus that has a mech plant, a mech factory on it, you get cheaper weapons from there or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, but like that should realistically only affect CW. Otherwise, you're gonna have this weirdly unbalanced.
You get a Fafnir, and you get a Fafnir, and you
Yeah.
get a Fafnir.
Right, yeah,
Target
basically.
Behind us, Golf 5 into Fox 5.
It's incentive to play CW, right?
Oh, for a plus Fafnirs is not a good idea.
But I mean, having those price changes affecting like the pub queue and stuff like that, or just for everybody, like
New
whatever
target
faction you're in, you
acquired.
get these prices because currently your faction controls this.
Right.
This affects like the mech base that you own. It makes it kind of weird, especially when you consider the fact that mechs are priced out MC-wise based on their C-bill costs. So now you have this really radically variant thing that no longer kind of makes
yeah,
any
I mean,
sense.
I mean, anything to get more depth into CW, I think is.
I mean, for the
Maybe-
people that are
Target acquired.
just starting to play CW though, isn't there more barriers to entry that you need to worry about more than the depth of the gameplay experience itself?
Oh yeah, I mean, sure. I mean, the new player experience probably needs to be up for everything, not just the solo queue.
So how
New
would
target
you
acquired.
see any way of not even say fixing, but like what
Heat
what
level
could be
critical.
added that you think people would actually take advantage of it, and like people that don't normally
Heat
play
level
CW might get
critical.
back into it?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe more variety in the battlefield. I know some people were like, "Oh my God, they're doing the same thing over and over again." Although I find that hilarious, coming back to my previous content. But assault, defense, counterattack. Maybe the 4v4 thing that they've talked about. I think that might get some people energized. That would be neat. I think that is a great idea. The idea that maybe that would be your scouting, and they have to win the battle in the next 4v4 battle to open a planet for you or something like that. I don't know, man. I mean, it's probably where I'm great on wanting more, but low on ideas. Anything to add more depth. I mean, I don't know. Part of me looks at other games. I played MechWarrior 2 competitively, and all we had was 2v2 and a player-made map that we fought planets over, and I played that for 2.5-3 years. So I don't know. Maybe a ladder challenge of some sort. I'm not sure. Or unit rankings, maybe, that would get people going. That's not ELO, of course, but hey,
Yeah.
These guys there's a win-loss record. This is how many planets they own, right?
Basically, if nothing else, an E-Peen MechWarrior contest.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody wants to know how well they're doing, right? And that's what it gets down to.
I mean, it's all about that girth. See, and and thank you, TK, for answering, because I didn't know where you were going to stand. So that's most thank you to you, sir.
No problem.
But that's my I was interested in a couple of days. I honestly just am not interested in the Epic Jaguar / Cauldronborn. Like it's just another awesome tier 1 fucking heavy. Like I just don't even give a shit. And since the Executioner, I can't really build the way I want to, except on one chassis. Again, meh. And so I don't. For the whale who has everything, I struggle to find things that really want me to keep especially if I get home from a 12-hour workday, right? I just don't think it'll be relaxing? MechWarrior. That's not a thought that crosses my mind.
Right, I hear you, and I will tell you, I almost did not buy the Wave 2 reinforcement pack because I was looking. I've got these mechs coming in. I've got a bunch of mechs. I got a bunch of C-bills. I'll just wait for them to come out with C-bills. All right, but I had a bunch of birthday money left over, so I spent it on that. But you know what I mean? I wasn't making any plans to buy it because I'm like, I got over almost 200,000 or 125,000 C-bills now. So I mean, it's like I can buy mechs and do whatever I want in game,
right.
So yeah, I agree. There needs to be more. I just, like I said, I know there needs to be more. I'm just short on ideas.
And I think that's always the interesting thing, right? Is people continue to talk about, new player experience and getting things, good for Steam launch and, updating tutorials and barriers to entry and blah, blah, blah. But you still got to remember every person in this room is a whale of some sort. You might be a killer whale, you might be a blue whale, you might be a whale shark, but we're all whales. We've all bought
absurd amounts of money from
this
game.
Yeah, easily spent probably, I probably spent $1,000 at this point on a game that
easily,
is it's fun in brief sessions, but I as the whale in me, I just don't know, how do I get entertained anymore in this process? What's really going to keep me coming back? Because, that's the other thing, I'm not, interested in leveling my Cauldronborns right now, because I want to still have something to do to keep me logging in, to be perfectly honest. Because once that's done, and these are done, and the Executioners and the Arctic Cheetah next month, I'm just not going to have anything to do once again. And the next Resistance pack looks like shit, so I'm not going to pick up anything for that. So then I'm just going to have this, long, dull period where I'm well, nothing to level. Again, sitting here, just twiddling my thumbs.
I think CW has a lot of things in it, though, that could pull people in or keep people engaged or re-engage them into the game. They have a lot of the basic tools there. They're just not putting it all together or putting it into a way that people want to sit down to time after time after time
Okay, so then
because it
how
gets
do you-
stale.
Okay, so how do you what if the tools are there? If Gost is in charge of the tools, how does Gost fix things to make it like what you just described? Like what given the systems we have right now can we do to keep the
Aside from what's already been mentioned in previous streams
Yeah, like-
about
yeah,
about adding just more sustenance to the game itself and to the planets
adding more
themselves.
stuff is just the bland basic meh answer.
Well, that's half the problem though, is because there's just not enough stuff involved in CW to make it worthwhile for your time. Right now, essentially, CW is no different than just going on and playing pub matches of TDM. You're not really accomplishing anything, and then the time that it takes to accomplish those things doesn't make it worthwhile. I mean, it's all great to have a long-term version, but what about the short-term versions? You know, they ran that little Tukid special tournament that one weekend, or that one week, and that was actually the most. Yeah, there was more people that were interested in that than the entire time I think CW has been around. So I mean, you have to give them a goal, and it can't be super long term. It has to be something that they can acquire within a short amount of time, because the game is not built like an RPG. It's still built like an FPS shooter that you want to get into. You want to play for half hour, and then you get out of, because that's all the time you've got. You have to cater to some of those people. It sucks, you know, that they have to maybe keep some of the smaller maps that they have, but that keeps some people engaged. You know, I've seen multiple times where people hate playing on the big maps because they don't have time to play on the big maps. But at the same time, if you get rid of those, then you're missing out on a huge portion of what makes the game great, which is the graphics. You know, and what made previous games like Living Legends and all that kind of good stuff. You know, they were good because of the size of the maps too. So there has to be a careful balance in that in order to keep people engaged. But there has to be more stuff to obtain, and I think that's the problem that we're dealing with.
So that being said, do you start making specialized maps, and you start going back to, like, instead of even doing, let's say, like the touch-ups they're doing to like River City right now, and the proposed touch-ups to all the old maps, right? Do you just go back and then redo like an 8v8 game mode for those smaller maps, and then perhaps do like for people that want to invest more time, like maybe an hour-long version of CW in a, let's say, 16-on-16 set? Like, would that be something that you find interesting? Like, you know, maybe the map's bigger, but now you've got, you know, an extra lance of people running around to do, you know, more crazy shit. Not that, you know, we need to increase time to kill anymore, but, or decrease it anymore, but...
New target acquired.
I think time to kill is a good option to look at. I mean, what if it took longer to kill each individual mech?
So like a simple armor multiplication, or are you thinking like actually adding various armor types where you can then choose, like, you know, well, currently, you know, ballistics are in favor, so let me go more reactive instead of reflective. Or
I think that definitely should be implemented. I mean, I always thought that having the differences in the armor between standard and ferrofibrous was brilliant. I think that's the way to go too, to help bring some depth to the game. Just little things like that that could make it more.
That's what you're suggesting.
I'm sorry?
I mean, if you go into lore, reactive would give you better against explosions, and reflective would be better against, you know, all of your various beam weapons. Would be the easiest way to just simply to quantify it. The reactive, I think, melts a little bit, but still stays on the mech, whereas the or no, that's the reflective, whereas the reactive
Target destroyed.
What does that do? I think it.
Reactive? I mean, that would just be better against ballistics, where the
Yeah,
reflective
yeah,
is better against energy. It's just that
yeah,
simple.
that's what I'm saying. But I'm trying to think of how it was described in the books because I
Target
remember
acquired.
the reflective like ends up like
Ooh,
it
down.
gets melted, but basically stays on the chassis and just like kind of like moves down a couple inches. So it basically you still have the same armor value in the same spot.
Artillery
Is
strike
kind of how it
online.
works. I just don't
New
remember
target acquired.
how the reactive works in comparison.
New
Anyway,
target
but
acquired.
besides the mechanics,
Right
I mean, but
arm destroyed.
yes,
Left
that would
torso
give people
critical
more of a
damage.
defensive choice setup, but then still, like, like lasers are still the tits. Like, do people just, all run? Is it just going to be a new meta of, this is the only way to run your defensive setup? And
Well, okay.
Technically, it's achievable because clans are largely locked into energy weapons, so it's just take reflective. Clan weaponry effectiveness decreased by like 50%.
right, that's what I'm saying. Like, while it could be an interesting feature, clans especially rely. I mean, besides of course the gauze and take your pick of large pulses, medium pulses, etc. Where you would still at least have one ballistic hardpoint. I mean, very few people run ballistic or learn heavy clan mechs. So I mean, that's just an auto additional armor button for Intersphere. I feel like.
What if they, I mean, from the CW standpoint, what if they would implement things like atmospheric changes? So, have your preset pods, especially for clan side, that you could change on the fly. Oh, we're dropping on this planet, so I need to have this type of loadout because, I don't know, there's too much gravity, or it's too hot for lasers. Let them swap in and out. There needs to be more strategy involved in the game that's given to you from that side of things.
Do that because you already know what the map's going to be if you can count pips on the map gen.
But you don't know that when you're going to drop in until you've already dropped in,
No,
and then you're reduced to
from-
the what mechs you
don't
actually
change the
have.
mix when you know it. That's the problem.
You can change mechs that already have pre-built,
Target destroyed.
but you can't actually rebuild those mechs
Right.
while you're waiting.
Yeah, but dude, do you really see? Now I'm gonna poke a hole in this because do you really want the Sands of Mech Lab guy?
No, they have to have them pre-built. You have to pre-build your pods
Well,
and
then
basically
aren't you
have, okay, this is my saved variant. I understand where you're getting at with you already have the mechs.
Especially with clans, you run one Stormcrow as your energy build, you run as a heavy ballistic build, and you run one as because I mean it's all interchangeable, right? Like the only
It
way
is.
that would be something like it would be far more interesting is again it's basically another buff to the Inner Sphere because the Inner Sphere would actually before they drop be like, oh hey, we're gonna be on the molten-y butthole map, so let me go and switch out to a ballistic Lerm or SRM build instead of the laser boat I was going to bring. Whereas the clans are just kind of stuck in okay, so I can streak, I can sort of like AC5 medium laser, or I can gauze
Some
medium
kind of
laser,
vomit mix build.
or I can just, or I could just do a straight vomit build. Like again, like it doesn't add any other option to the clan. Like that's. But here inherently is the issue, is that the clans, at least the way the current iteration of the game is, play. I wouldn't even say differently, but they just like there's only a certain amount of randomness on the clan side because there's only so many things they can do, at least do well anyway. Now the recent UX changes have helped some things, but I still don't see it's not like a wave of it's not like the festivals of Artemis, right? Like there's not a umbrella of
Autoloader system.
Yeah, it's not like an umbrella of Alta Misha has on us. Like it's just a here's some UX changes. Oh, that's kind of cool. And then like maybe every once in a while you see that Timber with like a pair of fives or an Executioner. That's about it. Like it's still gauze rifles.
Right. Well, it's because most of your fights happen at such long range. I think that's why you're still seeing that as being the king on the battlefield, which, I mean, it should be. The Gauss Rifle is inherently better, even in lore. So, by default, the mechanics of it are superior by most of the ranges that you're having your computation at. So, the UACs by default get forced into a small niche area of being useful, which of course is your close range brawl, where your SRMs are useful, your streaks, etc., etc., etc. That's why you don't see people running around, especially in CW, with small pulse laser builds. It just doesn't happen all that often in any mech that is above medium. So the brawling was taken out.
Say light, but then you're like, oh shit, the Nova. God
No,
damn it.
well, I was thinking between like besides the Nova, you've got the Firestarter that's going to be building that kind of stuff.
That's, again, a light.
Right. So I mean, it's still a very niche area. You're not going to see it mainstream and brawling for CW. So the thing is that right now, if you look at CW, what is it? It's all long range brawl. It's all long range poking, and that's it.
Weapons online.
There's not a whole lot of close range stuff involved in it. So does that need to change? Do they need to rethink that side of it, or are they trying to look at this from what point of view? You know, how would that change? How could you change that to make also existing players interested again, because there's more variety? It's stale.
Again, I mean, the question then becomes then, do you build like basically different map setups where you can still do the 4v4 thing they've talked about, whatever, but then like maybe you do like a 16 on 16, or even still just 12 on 12, but you make like you make 2 or 3 maps in a row that are like really narrow, like tight turning corridors. Like it's you're forced up this path, but there's like a very like narrow bend every once in a while, so that neither the attacker nor defender can get a full firing line. Especially not a full firing line, like looking down, the 600 to 800 meter range, like everybody does in the game currently.
Got a fire starter to the left, guys.
Airstrike online.
Get off this damn box.
Give me 1 sec, Alex.
Right arm critical damage. Heat level critical. New target acquired.
One Foxtrot Executioner. CT. Get him, red CT.
Oh,
Target destroyed.
man. Just about killed that blackjack that stepped in front of me.
Target acquired.
Echo Yanlo off to this left.
Heat level critical.
I don't know if he dropped a strike or we dropped a strike, but the strike.
Nope, he did.
Right arm destroyed. Heat sink destroyed.
See, I think this comes back to a decision that's already been made, and that kind of put them in this harder position for making CW more interesting. Is they need to make CW a unique experience in the first place, and it
New
really kind
target
of
acquired.
Yeah, I mean, maybe more objectives. I don't know what exactly. I mean, more than just. Maybe there's a, in the game mode. Of course, that would probably make the game last longer. But stuff like where you actually have to hold territory and stuff like that before you can advance. I don't know.
Target destroyed.
Push down a bit.
Did we kill the dire wolf that was out there?
Well, and that's what I said. Yeah, I think that was the guy that just went down. Is like, if you added, but at that point, if you make more objectives and things, you've got to increase the time limit too. So you almost have to make it be like an hour-long game mode, or,
Right.
So what?
And I'm certain, and I'm sure there's people that would not mind doing that, especially because CW is supposed to be.
New target acquired.
Right torso on that warhawk down there. Do you see him?
Ouch.
Gauss ammo destroyed. Large pulse.
Could I get some help down here? Like with the fat list?
Heat sink destroyed.
I'm working the Atlas right now.
Oh, there's 2 UAVs up above us, guys. Not that it matters.
I'm just about neutered, so.
New target acquired.
Oh,
Center
poor
torso
ghost.
critical.
I was just about
And
dead, and then I became dead. So.
Artillery strike.
We should have this pretty easily. I have a point.
I mean,
I have another point I want to make on that as well, or another suggestion.
yes.
what if they were to go a step further with each individual planet? So they know basically from lore, from what's already been written, what roughly most of the planets are, weather-wise. So they have all these base foundation maps now that they could use. They could make individual, like, almost like stepping stone maps. So make it so that when you engage on a planet, you've got your first map, your second map, your third map, and you have to, basically, once you engage for one, you can quit out of that, but it's helpful. You get bonuses or whatever if you stay involved and fight all 3 maps.
So Evolve.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, you didn't play Evolve. Hickage knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's an idea that's already been in the game, which is actually an interesting idea. I think actually we brought it up before. Evolve has their main game mode where you're fighting the monster or whatever. Depending on who wins each round, something changes for the next round. Like either the monster gets an advantage or the players get an advantage.
Right.
And that's something I could definitely see being, like you said, like you could still leave the lobby. Like there's no problem with you leaving the lobby. But okay, let's say the first round the attackers win. So for the second round, they get
Or something.
objective turrets, additional UAVs randomly spawned in, like from above, like orbital UAVs, like get dropped down, or like a UAV, like it's a drone flyover or something.
I just...
whatever you want to, make
Right.
it be, so that then, having won that first round actually applies to the second one. And if you
Exactly.
win the second one, you get something else for the third one. If you're defending for the third one, you get a additional layer of base defense turrets, or you get a buff to your because the power grid survived in round 2, all of your generator turrets or all of your generators guarding the Omega cannon have 50% more shields, or whatever modifier you want to throw on there. But it would actually, especially if you threw unique modifiers in there, like fairly common ones, then every once in a while you get like a random roll of like something like really unique or different, like somebody blows up a ammunition supply dump, and so every once in a while there's like random like bombarding missiles that come in from like the Stoker's floating supply dump, or whatever, like just a random effect that would be interesting if nothing else.
Right. This has to be something that shows you that you've been doing work, aside from the number at the end of the day. It says, well, X amount of people won. Doesn't say who won, doesn't say what that person did. They need to make some sort of connection from fight to fight to fight to show that you're actually getting somewhere. It has to be rewards other than the silly points that you get at the end of the match that no one cares about. You know what I mean? Like, there has to be something else there.
Maybe your unit gets more of those rewards at the end of the match by the planets.
Well, you can...
maybe a
something
percentage, right?
even that's directly obtainable, like XP, and like you were saying, the extra C-bills and stronger turrets, instead of, they get upgraded to, I don't know, ER larges instead of just ER mediums. I don't know, just throwing something out there to give you that feeling of, okay, we're actually making a difference, and we're going to make things a lot more difficult on the enemy team by continuously winning. Make it worth it, every bit of it. And then you could even make modifiers so that depending on the amount that you beat them by determines how big the reward is. Makes you push a little harder. Maybe even insert a handicap.
I've got a super EP instead of just a gigantic EP.
Well, you could make it more of a handicap as well. Make it build up a handicap.
Yeah, I mean, I think it would help, especially, people complain about the units changing factions so often. If owning those planets meant something in some way, somehow, whether it's better defenses, better rewards,
But again,
I don't know. Is that going to
Re-
get more people to play? I don't know.
Well, no, I'm not even going to say that. Realistically, with a new attack window opening every 8 hours, is putting that much thought into each individual planet actually worth it? Because I mean, that's the ultimate thing is with the way the attack windows are set up right now. I mean, every 8 out, like, you know, you can log in tonight, and then, you know, tomorrow, you know, depending on how the attacks went, you could be 3 planets further down the line, or you could be 3 planets further back, you know. Usually it doesn't work like that unless you're getting a big push for
But
Terra. Or
none
whatever.
of them matter right now. Doesn't
Right.
I mean,
That doesn't do
losing
any
a random
good.
Planet
You
besides
have-
the sea bills doesn't matter. Yeah.
I don't care if they slow down the speed of actually moving forward in the battle, like the actual changing of the map. That, I mean, that can take time or not take time. It doesn't really matter. I want to see things actually occurring while you're winning over one of those planets instead of just being a dot on a map.
But that's what I'm saying, right? If we put in a system of rewards and or penalties, right? Based on the number of planets you have or the amount of matches you've won beforehand or whatever, you know, isn't there going to be some people that are going to inherently be like, oh, hey, well, that's kind of dumb. Like, you know, that's, you know, I logged in from today to yesterday, and now we lost 3 planets, and so all of my, you know, UAC ammo costs an additional 20% extra than it did yesterday. Or, you know, this new mech variant I was going to buy that was like 35% off yesterday is instead like marked up 10% because it's considered rare right now because we lost the planet it was assembled on.
I'm fine with those things.
You are, and I am. And again, that's always the perspective I try and keep in mind is that we're all whales and we all have a million C-bills or, I mean, you know, like billions.
What if, for S&G here, what if what happened in CW affected you also in the public lobby?
Did you abbreviate shits and giggles so you went
Yes, I did.
shits and giggles?
What if?
Yeah.
If your team or your unit, your faction is doing poorly in CW, what if it affects your prices through your normal public drops? Even like the competitive scene would feel that, and they don't even have to be playing CW.
Right.
It would automatically get everyone involved, right?
But does it really get more people involved, or does it really just get more people bitching on the forums?
I think that just gets more people bitching on the forums.
Because I don't feel like more people are going to be, because you're not actually changing the game mode. You're not actually changing team deathmatch at 500 meters. That is CW for 30 minutes at a time. Like that's not being changed at all. The only thing you're adding is a negative modifier so that all the casuals that drop in that are just kind of part of, you know, casual clan X are just going to be pissed off when they log in and they want to buy the new cicada that came out for C-bills, and they're like, God damn, it's, you know, 7 million C-bills and all the other variants are 4. Why is it so expensive? And then they find out, oh, well, we lost, you know, our faction lost this many planets, and then our team within the faction lost access to this special hub of trading land that gave us cheaper engines so that the cost was lower. And then you're just going to piss, like, because that's really the ultimate question, is how do you get the people that casually play that aren't super interested right now in CW to kind of be more invested in it, like along with the whole whale thing, like because what you really need is, besides an event like Tukid where you basically just force everyone onto the same world, like how do you get more? So because we've all seen it, like every night we log in, there's 1 maybe 2 planets that are contested that are, you know, like 60 and 60 or 48 and, you know, 56 or something. And then it's 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, and then maybe one near the bottom is like 12 and 8. And like the 112 is ready to go, and they're just, you know, counting down while the other guy's got 8, and they're just waiting for hopefully someone else to join them, maybe. And that's every single night is what CW is in for, is 1 to 2 planets under contention. And so how do you boost those pop values so that when, you know, so like when, even if it's me, like in the old whale of the clan, that's like, I just worked a 12-hour shift, but I think, you know, maybe playing some Mech Warrior for a bit might be fun tonight instead of, you know, I'll add something else to grind.
So you think that it would turn more people away than it would bring into the game if they have the ability to actually get a discount on other mechs that they buy by playing CW?
I mean, if it's only a discount, fine, but if you...
Sensors on
So, okay, so cut out the negatives.
is
cut
that
out the
if there
negatives
are
and
no
only give it a
negatives-
discount. Give it only positives.
Well, sure, but then that was exactly what I was going to say. Is if there are no negatives, then who gives a shit again? Like, you know, like if I don't actually lose something, except like having to play standard price for fighting on planet Y, then who gives a shit? Like that's ultimately like where my mindset's at, is who gives a shit? Like, you know, if I'm paying 9 million for a C bill, even if it's like, you know, even if it's like, okay, so the execution just came out, right? So if instead of 9 million, it's 8.5 million C bills. Again, that doesn't interest me as the whale. Like, I could buy it either way.
Right. It would have to be something somewhat significant, like 20% off.
Right. Like something like that. And even with 20% off, that's still only, you know, 1.8 million C bills off. Which again, I don't care about 1.8 million C bills.
That's enough that somebody. Go ahead.
I was going to say something Russ had said before was that, you know, they were at one point, you know, if you know, there are faction variants at least on the inner spear side of certain mechs, right?
Yeah.
Like the M variants are Merrick, and you know those would be, you know, at one point maybe as the launch party stuff they talked about those mechs would get a discount by your faction. But yeah, I don't know that they're ever going to go back to that.
I actually thought it would have been cool a long time ago if they, at least as a way to get new people playing CW, until of course you get through rank 5 or 6 or 10 or whatever it's tied to, offer, you know, any mech that's got a, you know, a specific faction tied to it. So, you know, again, the execution just came out, but that's, you know, usually a Ghost Bear mech. So you hit rank 5 Ghost Bear and you get, you know, Executioner Chassis A for free. Like, you just get one.
Right.
Or, you know, if you're a Steiner player, you know, you hit rank 7 and you get an Atlas RS or A or, you know, whatever. Because that way, at least, like, there's instead of just getting a random amount of XP and C bills, like, you would actually get something specific and tangible and be like, ooh, piece of candy, you know?
Right.
I mean,
But now you're delving into the area of why not just have salvage.
yeah, but then salvage is a slippery slope because some people are going to be like, well, if I can salvage that mech, then why can't I, as an IS player, salvage clan mechs? I've killed enough of them. And then the clan player that thinks IS is OP is going to be like, well, why can't I salvage Thunderbolts?
We don't. Let's say you can't salvage the whole mech, just parts.
Yeah, but
Well,
can I still end up bringing IS tech to my clan matches now?
I'd bring an AC-20. IS AC-20 at the
yeah, like, you know, can I just mix and match whatever I fucking feel like at that point then? Like, can I bring an IS AC-20 and then, you know, a clan UAC 5 if I wanted to? Or, you know, like, clan medium lasers of awesomeness because extra range, why not? And then, you know, inner sphere X pulses when they come out. You know, like, because that's the ultimate thing. Like, salvage, you just get into such a slippery area of, you know, do you separate the tech? Do you... And if it's just another C-bill modifier and it actually isn't salvage, then why call it even salvage in the first place? Then it's just another random mechanic that actually doesn't mean anything.
Center torso and Foxtrot.
New target acquired.
Foxtrot down. Yeah, I mean, I don't envy PGI and any of that. You know, it's one of the reasons I don't get too upset about balance stuff unless it's really stupid.
Horrendous.
It's just, you know, what they're just trying to the impossible to balance a mech warrior game.
Well, and I completely agree with you there, but at the same time, PGI also listens to people when they have decent ideas, and that's why every once in a while I like to have this, you know, conversation, because people can actually come up with a decent idea and be like, hey, PGI, have you ever considered doing this? And then, you know, Russ, or who's the new community manager?
Tina
might see it posted in the forum and be like, actually, that's a good idea, you know.
Speaking of which, they started up an Instagram post that put a nice preview of the day-night shift on Riverside.
Move up, guys. Move up.
Critical damage. Warning incoming missile. Heat level critical.
Of course.
I'm gonna go kill a Lerm mech. Actually, I didn't expect to kill him that quick. Hey, it's Will I
Heat
Am.
level critical. Target destroyed.
Poor bastard. I was red cored, and I figured he was going to murder me, and I was like, nope. Nope, Gauss rifle plus PPC is too strong.
That old meta, man.
Right? It's still not bad. It's not great. It's not bad.
I was running on my one executioner, I think it was the D, a Gauss and as many small lasers as you could put in the damn thing. It was pretty fun.
I was actually running a small laser build. I found it fairly entertaining also.
On the X key?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was a gauze and then all the small lasers in the world.
Because I was running, I think it was a PPC and a Gauss and then multiple ER smalls, but it just gets warm even with that.
But yeah, but that's the other interesting thing about the Executioner, right? Is you're light on tonnage, but you're also light on space. Like, you run out of... Because I just tried to do a medium laser build, and I ran out of space to throw double heat sinks into. Because I was just going to run, like 8 medium lasers, and then I ran out of space. I still had tonnage left, but I didn't have any space to throw any more doubles in there. But anyway, so that's really... I was just curious if anyone else had come up with anything recently, because I was kind of thinking about that at work today, and I was like, meh, it's a conversation we haven't had in a while. Some things have evolved and some things have not.
You're still going to have... You're always going to have this to some extent, and CW, obviously, hey, it's in beta number 2, right? I think multiple stages for each planet could help give it a little bit more depth. Bring the rewards up, get some of those logistics moving in. That could go a long way, I think, with that. But as far as the rest of the game is concerned, your pub drops are going to be pub drops. The maps, they're known. They've already been gone over so many times. People know the spots to be at. You'd have to almost have a way to randomly generate different areas within the maps.
Procedural generation's not exactly new.
No, but just for example, something like that, you have to find a way to make things randomized, because this type of game is not really all that much different than a game that existed 10 years ago. So you have to do something that brings it a step further. Anyone who played beta knows how much this game has changed. Graphically, it's changed significantly, and I think although it's become a lot more polished, it's also been tuned down quite a bit. Things like that, things that help get you back into the game. I don't think that there really is any secret recipe that's going to bring people back that already quit, or involve any further than what people already are. There's going to be small tweaks here and there to help it out, but you're going to just see mainly a lot of the diehards sticking with it, and hopefully they can pick up some more people, some fresh people all the time with either the Steam release and some other ideas like that, But it's always going to be a consistently revolving door. There's nothing that they can do about that.
Reactor online.
Yeah, but
Online. Weapons online.
that again brings up
All
another
systems
completely separate
nominal.
topic, which is the problem of retention, and how do you keep people engaged?
By throwing money at them, obviously.
Right?
Well, free stuff. You saw how many people played when they were giving away the Warhawk and the... What else were they giving away? Thunderbolt or whatever? I can't remember what it was. Warhawk and...
Target
Banshee, I
acquired.
don't remember.
I would actually be interested, and they've been doing a much better job of it, but especially weekends where there's really good giveaway stuff, like that, the Warhawk and the whatever, or
Got
the
heavies and assaults and C4.
or
A
even
king
when
crab
it's
over there.
Even when it's like a 5 million C-bill purse and then like some GXP and other shit on the way. I wonder what that weekend turnout is like versus other ones. Which is all internal PGI numbers, nothing, and any of us are going to have access to, but I'd be curious nonetheless.
Airstrike online.
Yeah, I'm sure any guesses would be wildly inaccurate. It's just so hard to tell. It's like, oh, you can look at how many people were in CW, but no, that just tells you CW numbers, you know.
Right.
Hitting the crab, he's down in the valley by himself.
New target acquired.
Ooh, a piece of crab cakes. Mask engage!
Right torso is
It's definitely a standard.
Warp drive active!
It does kind of sound like that.
Make it so, number one.
Heat
God
level
damn it, I don't even know
critical.
if I hit him.
New target acquired.
I know I didn't.
Airstrike activated.
Looks like we
They
got
wrapping
lights
around
in the
behind
backfield.
us.
At least the lights are. Got another cauldron born popping up.
They didn't set course for Earth maximum warp soon enough.
Target destroyed.
Wow, he melted pretty good.
Ghost, I'm not
Target
sure
acquired.
how you got that kill when my Gauss rifle struck him the same time your lasers did. I'm pretty sure in the exact same spot also.
It's like Cauldron born him.
Heat level critical.
Cauldron born is strong backbone of crippled clan duct.
Got a dire wolf.
Oh, Kilo.
Heat level critical.
Bye-bye!
Heat level critical.
Oh, this is not a good place to be.
New target acquired.
Kind of feels like we're in a crossfire here.
New target acquired.
Yeah,
Heat level
no.
critical.
that's one way to take care of it. Dire was speaking out.
New target acquired.
CT on Foxtrot Thunderbolt, I believe that was.
Yeah, it was the T-Bolt. I didn't see what brand though.
Target destroyed.
Thunderwub. Crab Gulf coming around the corner.
Target acquired.
Get him, CT. CT also on
Target
Echo.
destroyed. New target acquired.
Also, apologies to any viewers, I haven't had Twitch up this whole time. So if anybody's been talking,
Yeah,
and none of us have been
We've
paying
been
attention.
completely and totally ignoring you.
yeah, it's just been Herodian.
Oh, nobody cares.
Yeah.
God damn it, I don't want to watch whatever trailer this is for ESO that nobody wants to play. Just let me... I don't want to watch it, I just want to immediately pause it when I get in there. Now I have to watch this thing on
New target
Unlimited
acquired.
Adventures, guys.
Target destroyed.
Also, speaking of funny trailers that for games
Target
that nobody really
acquired.
likes, the new Destiny pack
New
is
target
somewhat amusing,
acquired.
and now they're advertising it like, oh my god, it's this new big thing that actually matters. No, it doesn't. Like, nothing matters in Destiny.
Heat
Fuck
level
you.
critical.
Like, it was an okay idea, and it didn't actually pan out. You flopped on one, Bungie. It's okay. We give you one. Stop making stuff for it because nobody wants to play it anymore.
Yeah, I think it would be cool. I'm just gonna throw this out there as a side note. These tournaments that they throw. What if they threw one, I don't know, once a month? And the leaders of the leaderboards, so if it was individual mechs, the leaders would get a little, I don't know, if they would get like that mech, like a little metal model or something like that. I know it's something small, but something that's like a little trophy almost. Yeah, man.
Or you mean in your
IRL?
mech?
No, real.
I mean, as the one comp player out of the 4 people in the room, you would say that, and then I would say none of the other 3 of us are going to win that thing, and
but,
I don't give a shit about you or this idea.
Right.
But
See, I disagree with that because, for
as-
one,
as the comp
because
player,
ELO comes into play on those tournaments, you're going to have people that are in the lower elo brackets doing just as well, if
No,
not better, half the
you
time.
won't, because just as the Urban Mech tournament will demonstrate, as I'm about to bring up, Twinkie, won 2 out of the 3 Urban Mech things, and then got 3rd in the other one. Like, it doesn't... There's no elo separation for those brackets unless they actually put in an elo separation in the brackets. Like, if they put in an elo separation, then that could be something doable. But then
but
you're
look-
dividing...
Well, there just naturally was. I mean, they've had it before in the past in the different tournaments where
They haven't
there'd be
done it in a
players that
long
would be in
time.
the top 5. I would never even see those guys, ever. Never dropped against them, but they were obviously playing a lot. But
well,
I'd never
just
see
look
them.
at the leaderboard now. I don't see a whole lot of comp names on the leaderboard I'm looking at right now.
No, you don't.
In the Dragon Slayer one, I do, but that's about it. And maybe the
Yep.
Jaeger.
Everyone knows that if you're a good player, but you don't have a lot of experience in the game, you're going to have a huge advantage there on moving up those leaderboards.
Hey, I finished when they had the last War of the Avatar series. I finished 16th in my Kit Fox, and I'm pretty much convinced it's because at that point I never played lights.
See, here's ultimately my problem with your suggestion, Ghost, is I play with you and your stupid ass often enough that my elo's up at your level,
No.
and thereby I will never win one of these things, and thereby your idea is stupid,
Online.
and I don't care.
Sensors online.
But you're not going to be playing.
Online.
Yes, you're stupid and I hate you. Because the fact that, like,
All
when I
systems
solo drop and see,
nominal.
like, random people from EMP and SJR, and I'm like, oh, so I guess I won't be working on my execution of this.
So every time you do that and you drop against some of those people, you just instinctively just say, well, thank you, Ghost. And screw you. But thank
I
you.
mean,
Is that his version of the Sansai?
Usually, yeah, there's more expletives involved. But yeah, well, you and Sans really are the two that blame for it. But Sans isn't here tonight, and so I can't, it
Our
cause
normal
him to be
punching
enraged.
bag is not currently
Yeah,
present, so
so
Ghost will have to
So
be the
gospel,
substitute.
yes.
They haven't
I
left their
like it.
base yet.
But that's inherently, like, again, you're just offering more shit to comp players. Like, yeah, if you actually separated the ELO brackets or whatever. But again, like, you're still, okay, even in this tournament idea of whatever, if Twinkie loses to some random shitbag in entry-level ELO,
Critical.
and also, not only that, you could purposely, if you knew a tournament was coming up,
Online.
you could just purposely drop in, like, an assault or something your team needs, right?
Heat
Like, to
level
actually be
critical.
paying attention in. And then just, AFK every match until you brought your... So, you're down 100 tons. Like, take a whale every time. So your team's basically down 100 tons. You're going to lose the majority of those matches. And then your ELO bracket's low enough that when you get to tournament time, you're like, ha 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 ha, I'm going to murder all the stupid people at my bracket.
Target acquired.
And I just broke your system.
New target acquired.
That can happen
Couple
regardless.
in the middle.
It could happen regardless, but when I'm, And still people are going to, like the Twinkies and whatnot of the world are going to complain and be like, hey,
Online. Target destroyed.
it's kind of bullshit that,
New
I'm
target
losing to some guy
acquired.
who's down in, broke ass
Got
ELO
a
bracket.
Griffin with ECM behind you guys. You can do it like golf. It's a handicap.
Maybe. That might work.
One Alpha King Crab CT.
Target destroyed.
He's
Heat
dead.
level critical.
He's dead, Jim.
New target acquired. Airstrike activated.
Damn it, I'm a doctor, not a mech warrior.
I didn't realize you were a doctor.
Actually, if it
Heat
came out
level
wrong, I
critical.
wanted to say I'm a mech warrior, not a doctor. But yeah, it came out the other way, and so I just kind of stuck with it.
Target
Good job.
destroyed.
Yeah, It's late today.
Target acquired. Target destroyed. New
I
target
may have just shot a
acquired.
friendly Centurion. I honestly can't tell you.
Get Fox out in the water.
New target acquired. Target destroyed. Target destroyed.
Did he get? Oh no, just
He's in over here next to.
Target acquired. Target destroyed.
It's the last one, Kid Fox.
Yeah, I think so. I'm too lazy to go find him. I'm just gonna cap.
Target acquired. Enemy base is being
What was that?
captured.
Was that UTK? Yelping?
Yeah.
That was a yelp. Sound like yelp.
Yeah.
I like your
Enemy base
blues.
is being captured.
Thanks, brah.
I also like the fact that you only have like 3 blue stripes on there.
Right.
He's up in Bravo 3
Right.
Bridge, moving into Bravo 4.
That's the problem, man. I get so sad when there's no, like, I want my free camos, damn it. I mean, if nothing else, so it actually
Enemy
covers
base
this
is being
stupid mech
captured.
instead of the, like, 2 white lines I think I have on this one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you do have 2 white lines.
I don't buy
Yeah,
camos.
exactly.
Don't kill. Oh, come on, guys. Don't get the cap point.
Okay.
You go through the tunnel.
Yeah, but
Enemy base is being
Oh, we
captured.
almost had the cap win.
Target destroyed.
yeah.
You're a fucking jackass.
That was close.
Anyway, so that took us off topic. Talking about the mechs for the last however long this has been. I would say comment on the Cauldronborn, but we're all just gonna say it's great, so I don't.
That's great.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to the nerfs that it's going to receive in the near future.
Right.
Well, I don't know that it'll be nerfed too hard because I mean it is
Classes
kind of
aren't allowed
squishy.
to have nice things, right?
Well, I mean it is kind of squishy. It's still a 65-ton mech, right? You know, if you get caught in a crossfire in it, you start losing shit pretty quick in it.
Yeah, but if you get caught in a crossfire in a Timberwolf, you lose shit pretty quick. Like,
Yeah, but you at least can get the hell out of there. Right? You can jump jet out. You can.
Yeah.
With the Stellar Mark 1.
I will say it's not that bad though at tanking though, honestly.
Are you
And
kidding?
but I mean, Executioner's fantastic
Oh yeah.
at tanking.
So,
Yeah, now that's not a giant centered torso.
so segue to the Executioner, so we don't have to talk about the Ebon Jag at all, and just how it's a great tier 1. So yeah, what's everybody's thoughts on that?
Mask is the most incredible thing ever. It gives you the acceleration of a locust on an assault mech.
Yeah, it's pretty fantastic.
It's
I love-
the greatest thing ever.
I just love the poking abilities that you have with it. Zip out, get your shot off, and then zip back and reverse. It's awesome.
Mhm.
I would like it more if it did not have Mangoyle arms.
Yes, but the mounts in the torso are nice and high, which are so
This is
nice.
true.
Yeah,
Unlike the Mangoyle's crotch beam.
right.
Yeah.
But again, the problem is the best 2 mounts, being on the D, are not available to anyone who doesn't have the D, and
Right.
to be able to have the D is only available in that single chassis, unless you want to strip the D side torsos off every single time you're leveling another one.
Hey Alex,
Right.
I love the D.
He loves the D.
I'm all about the D.
All
Yeah.
about the D.
The D has been his favorite ever since it came out.
Online.
The D,
Sensors
I
They replaced the Wang.
I love it to
Weapons
fit in my
online.
Executioner
All
box.
systems
What can I say?
nominal.
But yeah,
Would you recommend putting a lot of the D's components inside the B?
I mean, whenever you stick the D and the B, I mean, it's always a tight fit, but you can make it. I mean, you know.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Welcome to BearNet.
I'd like to take a moment to apologize for Alex's behavior.
Alex,
Yeah, it was all just Alex there.
You're all terrible influence on me.
I mean,
well, he wouldn't shut up about the D.
nobody wants to throw
Where you going, TK?
an Executioner pelvic thrust down a hallway. I mean, that doesn't work.
They're all in
Master
D5.
Online.
Also, can I just say that I love the Executioner has the biggest EP of all the mechs in the game.
Yeah, it's the giant crotch plate.
Yeah, like you just need this giant metal plate to cover its enormous, like, testes, you know? It's
Target
just like, what's up?
acquired.
I'm an Executioner.
Let's
Yeah,
get stacked up here next to the stage.
New
whatever.
target acquired. Airstrike activated.
Charlie, or Bravo. Charlie, variant of the Executioner, is definitely out of position. Here, buddy. Come here.
New target
But yeah,
acquired.
I think once we get some more options, with the additional
Watch yourself.
side torsos and some more high amounts on it, I think this thing will definitely improve quite a bit. And I definitely have noticed actually since
New target
the
acquired.
first couple days when I played, it definitely seems to be tanking better tonight.
Taking a lot of hits.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm not just losing my CT every round now. Like, you know, this round, yeah, I'm already yellow in the CT, but I'm
Guy's
also
making D6, guys.
red in my right torso.
Alright.
So
New
Delta
target
Direwolf.
seems
acquired.
like you're more
Get him,
symmetric
CT.
thinking.
CT.
Target destroyed. New target acquired.
Oh, I had a couple UAVs up, taking them down.
Yeah, just shoot one of them down.
Yeah, got them both down.
Target acquired. Heat
Alpha?
level critical.
Our direwolf's going in.
Heat level critical.
Going up left side stage.
They're going around. They're curling around.
Are we playing Ring Around the Rosie at the moment?
Yep.
I'm going back the other way then.
Charlie's coming up from E6.
New target acquired. Target destroyed. New target
Oh, shit.
Kilo.
Kind of split right now.
5. So what build is that?
Right torso critical damage. New target acquired. Heat level critical. Target destroyed. Target acquired. Heat level critical. New target acquired.
Gotta admit, we've been opening a can of rape sauce all night.
Heat level critical. Target destroyed.
Our opponents haven't been
New
super
target
difficult either.
Acquired.
No, they haven't, which is weird. Maybe it's just Sands that always fucks up my yellow bracket.
Heat level
That bastard.
critical.
I like how that spider popped the UAV for all his teammates.
Well, you know, you gotta have that orbital
Destroyed.
bombardment.
Ah, good job.
target somehow.
Yes!
I have to say, this mech is splendid with laser vomit.
Yeah, Jack's so much fun.
Yeah, I don't have my other one to build. That's why I jumped in the Embraer.
I'm actually gonna mess around with it and this thing real quick. See if I can find something else to play tonight. I have no idea what that build's gonna be. But...
If you're gonna change, I'm gonna change.
Well, then maybe I'll look at my other mech then.
TK, did you want to hop back into a Ebon Jag and I'll hop
Yeah.
over? Or hit Kage, somebody.
I can take an Ebon Jag.
Yeah, why don't you switch with me? That way we're not completely lopsiding the queue.
Oh, I do have a laser helmet build here. Forgot about that. I'm gonna go refill my drink. I'll be right back.
Alright. So what has been your favorite build so far tonight, Alex, with the Executioner?
Oh, I've just been running my, I don't even know what technically variant, well, it's an A variant, but all I've been running is basically the prime shit on it. I've just been running the prime right torso and prime right arm, the Gauss rifle on the right torso and the pair of PPCs in the right arm. Like a boss. But, yeah, I mean, it's, I think it's definitely solid. I just don't. I think it's just not quite what I was expecting it to be. I don't know. I don't know how to like it's tanky. Like I thought I could do more laser shit with it than I can, but I can't find anything I really.
There's
like.
not really that energy sweet spot on it like you
Yeah,
thought it was going to be.
yeah, like
It's almost like the gargoyle does it better, but to be honest, I think the executioner runs the Gauss PPC combo a little bit better if you want to run that.
Oh yeah, by far. No, I totally agree with that. Well, the mask makes the Gauss PPC combo phenomenal on it because
Hell yeah.
pokeability is just great. But you know, at the same time, it's the same thing. You know, like it's been done a million times.
Are you trying to find some new completely off the wall build that works wonders, even though we're using the same weapons that we had before? I mean, what are you looking for, pal?
I don't know. Like just something. Well, like I said, like I need more D side torsos. If I had an extra 3 energy mounts every time, along with the A left arm and the A right arm, so I have, you know, I'd have 10 energy mounts in every mech. Then I could maybe come up with something different. But instead, it's just, well, you know, maybe this build will do large lasers, and this build will do large pulses, and this one will do mediums. Alright, so you know that guy I was making fun of before? Oh, actually, you know what? This build will be a little different. If I can pull it off. 5 medium pulses, gauze? Maybe? Maybe? They don't really sync well.
I've got I'm running right now the Gauss 6ER medium, and I know it runs hot.
That's what I was running. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I've done decently with it, but anytime you get into a real heavy brawl situation, you're going to suffer. I don't know. It's definitely going to be the mech that I toy around with after this, well, tonight and whatnot kind of gets put in the past here. I'm going to focus a bit more time into Executioner and see what I can do with it. Cauldronborn or the Ebon Jag is a winner all around. I mean, I can't find too much in the way of fault with it. We didn't realize, obviously, with the jump jets not being there, but it's fantastic, and the poke ability that it has, the haul down ability that it has, it's just, you know, you almost don't even need the extra armor for tanking like you would have on the Turbo Whip, because frankly, they're just not going to get all that good of angles on you half the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Well,
they get a few shots into you and you're gone. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
You know, and I'm peeking so many times against people where I'm barely able to see him, but I know, especially if you run something that's got some good power to it up in one of those side torso mounts, the upper side torso mounts, you'll pop and get real good damage without even hardly putting yourself at risk.
Right.
Yeah, just this little black box shooting death everywhere.
Honestly, between the Executioner, the Ebon / Cauldron, and then the Shadowcat next month, these might be the 3 most pokey additions to the clan arsenal by far.
Yeah.
Because there's just, the Ebon Jag has the squatness, Executioner has mask, the Shadowcat will have mask. The Archie is going to be the opposite. The Archie is going to be the fire starter of the clan mech. It's going to be like, haha, I'm a light and I don't give no shits because you're dead. Because you're always going to be dead. Because I have 7 million lasers and Pharaoh and Endo and go fast as hell and have ECM. Die.
Well, I mean, I'm going to be huge into the Shadowcat, I can tell you that right now. That's a mech I've always liked a lot. But
Shadowcat's been crazy.
yeah, that's some good
Now that
times.
I've actually got my hands on Mask and like what effects it actually has.
Yeah, but it's very light on those hard points, man. Like I still don't know what build you're gonna be able to pull off well with the thing.
It's gonna be like a gridiron thing. You throw a Gauss rifle, a bunch of ammo, and like a medium laser on it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess.
All you have to do is like start charging a Gauss rifle, click on Mask for a half second as you step out of cover, drop your acceleration immediately, fire the Gauss rifle, fire up the Mask, go right back into cover. You'll be out long enough to shoot, and that's it.
Yeah. No, that's definitely fair.
Reactor online.
Like, I don't
Sensors
care what your
online.
alpha is, what your rate of
Weapons
fire is, you just
online.
lost that trait. That Gauss rifle hit you, you got one shot off,
All
and then
systems
that's it, you hit
nominal.
air. This is actually gonna be really good.
Alright, with this team, we can definitely be a bit more aggressive and push out.
Hell yeah.
Well, we're on a team of EMP, dude. I could just shoot.
We could spectate.
I could murder you in the back right now, and it wouldn't matter, and then proceed to just go walk off the map into the abyss of the ocean beyond. I'm just staring at your back armor, just really wanting to murder you right now. Especially with your, I didn't even know you had the 1% tag on. You're such a douche.
I got them too. I'm trying to say.
Target
Also douchey.
acquired.
I have it, I just don't equip it. I don't even know what my tag is at the moment. I think it might be something really.
Actually,
I think
Motto Giver was the best one, but that was because it was an inside joke.
I might
New
switch to that
acquired.
new Ardent one, because, I mean, why not display proudly that I'm a whale?
Target destroyed.
Also, could I just...
New target
Can I,
Oh my God.
Earth noises make me so happy.
Online.
Whale talk with Alexander.
New target acquired.
Can I just also say that I'm super happy I downloaded that Earth soundtrack so I can listen to that whenever I want?
Yeah, did you?
Yeah, it's on my computer somewhere. I gotta go find it again.
Awesome.
I had it on repeat for like 2 hours one day.
New target acquired.
Just earthing it up in the background. Okay, so that's all right. I want to delve for a second, right? So, for those of you who don't know, we're making League references with her.
New target acquired.
He's a non-playable character that it's really just too long to explain at this point about who the fuck Earth is. But anyway, he's not actually any character in the game. He's just kind of something the community picked up on a long time ago.
Pulse rifle
But as
destroyed.
such,
Right
like
torso
No.
they had a thing not too long ago where like they had this big
Right arm
they developed a
destroyed.
game mode just specifically like named after him, and there was like this new login page and special music. Like, it would just be awesome if I logged in one day and it was just like something hilarious making fun of like Mech Warrior, like just this internal joke of something, like just, you know, not taking anything too seriously, like we're just playing giant stompy robots, you know, because that's the kind of fun thing that like communities like that can do, where it's just like, meh, yeah, it's a good time. Not the lowest score. Whoop, whoop!
3 kills.
Dude, I was just behind everyone that round. I was like, well, he's in my way. He's in my way. He's in my way.
I fired my Gauss rifle over top of people so many times.
So,
So good.
have we lost tonight?
I don't think so.
No. It's just been a straight roll all night.
It's because
Awesome.
TK, I have to say,
Your elo is so low, you're dragging us down.
well done. Well done. You actually added things to the conversation. Your ELO score is awesome. We are most pleased with it. Like I said, man, I just permanent vote. Louis just kick out Sans. It's just TK. It's just TK now.
TK
I
Sands.
appreciate the compliment.
Yeah, I mean Sands. It sounds the same anyway.
Yeah,
No one will ever
yeah.
know the difference.
We just change an N to an X. That's fine.
Yep. TK Sax Daedalus. Sounds. I mean, just rolls right off the tongue. Poor Tyler. Sorry, buddy. Miss you. Wish you were here, but we don't miss your elo.
Yeah, we don't miss your ELO.
We don't miss your elo.
We don't
Well,
miss your combination with us.
Actually, that last match is a perfect example. We just got on the side of the God mode team because we have a 4-man and they had an 8-man, and so, you know, fortune favors the bold. Or what is the Cuervo commercial with Kiefer Sutherland at the moment? Like, you know, make memories but not regrets, or I don't something like that. I don't know.
I don't even know how to do that.
I don't know. Dude,
I
I saw
memorably
Jack Bauer and I got
make
kind of
regrets every
excited.
day.
And then it was like a not really good tequila commercial, and I was like, no. You should
Well,
really
then,
be advertising for.
Don't bring it up. It's
Jack
only
Bauer.
so-so. I mean, come on now.
Well, I'm just saying. I mean, Jack Bauer. I mean, guy in charge of CTU should be, at least be a Patron man. I mean, I would. Think.
Kind of back on topic from this evening. Definitely, if you guys are enjoying the conversation tonight at all, heavily recommend also watching last week's episode as well. We had Darren and Phil on from NGNG discussing a bunch of different things.
I thought you were going to plug someone else for a moment, but you're just plugging us. So, well, way to be self-serving.
Plugging both.
Way to be self-serving.
No, I'm just trying to say, I think that...
Hold on. It's our show, so it's not a plug.
Yeah, it's not,
That's right.
I guess. It's just, hey, watch last week's episode.
Right.
Which actually, speaking of which, viewers, my apologies recently if you actually go and click the playlist button. I've not updated the last couple weeks, so my apologies. If you subscribe, or you're watching this not live and on YouTube, in which case you'd already be a subscriber, or would have found this episode in the first place, so this really doesn't apply to you. Regardless, my apologies that I haven't added tags to a couple things. I will be doing that the next couple days. Work's been a bit hectic, but YouTube will be receiving an update. Also, I want to change a couple things on the site, so those of you who are YouTubing at the moment may notice some background changes and whatnot. I'm planning to make it match more the Twitch stream and the generic bullshit Timberwolf that Ghost put on here, which will not be on our YouTube page because it's not going to be a bullshit generic Timberwolf, but it will be some other mech of renown.
We have some fun people in the chat channel.
Not sure we ever picked on a newbie. But what do I know? Is that better?
Who is SRS?
Seraphim Rising Storm.
Well played.
What?
Seraphim Rising Storm.
Was it a separate group from Seraphim?
No, they have their comp team.
Oh.
Reactor
The
online.
Wonka, Vorpal, and the other guy, they're all different.
Online. Weapons.
They're comp
online.
players.
All systems nominal.
The sound of masks is very satisfying.
It is very satisfying.
I'm telling you, warp drive active, man.
Yes, it is very similar to that sound, that's for sure.
It's definitely a Federation warp drive, though. It's not a Klingon warp drive. It's definitely not. It's definitely not Cardassian or Romulan either.
It's definitely not Klingon.
It's definitely not Klingon. That's for sure. Also, I just enjoy the noises from the Executioner. It just sounds like big and meaty as it walks along. Like, yeah, I'm 95 tons. What's up?
Airstrike online.
Plotting quite a bit.
Get the space mountain, Charlie.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Oh, looks like we have a bit of a smoke show.
Oh, I hate the long walk there, Assault.
At least it's assault with mask, and so you can actually accelerate up hills.
Assault with mask and jump jets.
I actually don't even remember I have jump jets half the time in this thing. I'm just here with mask, just doing my thing.
Strike coming in right on me.
Oh, they're pushing.
There's a UAV up.
Target acquired. Airstrike online.
Whale
Another
pushing.
strike coming in.
Crap. Actually, many things pushing.
Ah, shoot, I'm gonna die. Hit the
Ow.
wrong button.
Wow,
New target
I got
acquired.
royally owned.
Oh yeah. They pushed us
Left
up.
torso critical
No.
damage.
We did take advantage of the
Left
fact that there was
torso
only like 4
destroyed.
guys actually on the top
Cross
for a little
ammo
while.
I just
destroyed.
got destroyed.
Like 9 of us. Oh, I guess that's what we get for our winning streak. A resounding loss.
Well, I mean, you know, last match of the night, we gotta have one loss in there, right? And that just makes sense. We couldn't have a perfect night. That wouldn't be BearNet. That'd be weird.
Heat level critical. New target
Marine Max and
acquired.
Seraphim pushed up there
Heat
hard.
level
Credit to
critical.
them.
Yeah, they pushed good.
Yeah, it was actually especially surprising that I didn't get to the top of the hill before that whale was already in place. Well done, whale.
Maybe he's got mask in his whale.
He stripped it.
Masked
He
whale.
stripped it off his D chassis along with everything else good, and he threw it on there.
There you go.
He was like, "I want those D side torso high mounts, and I also want the mask off of it."
Alright. Well, did we end on a loss, or did we go for one more?
Always one
Yeah.
more.
That's
Uno más.
okay. Because they were just gonna lose a second one then. So, but whatever.
We could.
Quiet, Alex. We have to prove the curse, which means you have to keep trying until we prove it wrong.
Bum, bum, ba, bum, bum. Also, I enjoy that I then, after I typed Bob Barker Plinko noise, I then had to do Bob Barker Plinko noise. I love how the brain works.
Nice. Good job, Alex.
Well done, me.
You're pro as hell.
In case you didn't know what the Bob Barker Plinko noise was, now you do. The more you know. Do, do, do. Because let's get an NBC plug in there also.
No, they're just not cool enough. I'm sorry.
But yeah, execution are pretty solid. I'll be interested to see what they do as far as actual quirks to it. Like the Prime with that really high right torso and the energy, like the limited number of energy mounts in the arms. That could be interesting. My guess is they'll probably just go with, like, since it's got 2 ballistics instead of 1, it'll probably be like a generic ballistic cooldown and, you know, some energy weapon range or cooldown or whatever buff. But especially, like, I think it's the A where it's got the 2 heavy energy arms. I think it's like 3 and 4. I'll be interested to see what
Something
they
like
do with that one. In particular, unfortunately, I think the D's probably gonna get a little shafted. Besides having the 2 side torsos, My guess is the D is probably going to get some sort of missile bullshit buff for that one arm, for the one, because it's the only variant that actually has a missile hardpoint. So the one good variant will probably get a quirk that's basically useless to it.
So, I don't mean to bunny trail too heavily, but are you a person, do you think, that would stand behind definitely putting more research and time into improving on the LRMs, or are you just kind of wanting them to get pushed to the wayside? Or do you think they're already perfect? Yeah.
LRMs are a thing? People still use those?
Unfortunately.
Yeah. I'm even talking about from the clan standpoint, not just the IS. I mean, I think the IS ones.
People don't all just equip radar deprivation and just go with the flow anymore?
See, that used to be extremely effective, but there's a few mechs out there that can still kind of push beyond that.
Yeah, but those are like the hunchbacks and shit of the world with the one of 3 actual Lerm mechs that can Lerm, and those mechs are all mediums, so they can't even mount enough Lerms to make it really yeah, they hurt over time, but it's not a Lerm 60 Stalker even. It's like a Lerm 20 hunchback that you're like, ow, I guess. And then I closed to 250 meters and hit you with a Gauss rifle, and now you're sad because you're a medium mech mounting Lerms. And you also did damage to all of me versus me, headshotting you or CTing you. And the only way really to make Lerms interesting is actually bringing in specialized ammo. Like Inferno rounds on Lerms, oh my god. Now that's a game changer.
Thunder rounds?
Yeah, thunder rounds. I mean, ultimately, the only thing that's going to affect Lerms is not having Lerms anymore and us getting to the point where we have ATMs. Because once you have ATMs and you get variable changing rounds depending on your range and different damage types, and also with the ATMs is really when you see the specialized ammo come out. And you see the, the Thunders, the Infernos, I think they had a couple that were like mini missiles inside the one big missile round. So, I mean, until that point, I mean, Lerms are just spread damage always loses to pinpoint. I mean, that's the bottom line, and they don't do enough damage. They're not streaks where you can just lob enough of them to actually make a difference. It's just Lerms are Lerms. They're for the middle to low elo bracket to learn how to play,
right.
and then you don't use them anymore.
I mean, it'd be interesting to see if they could do some stuff. Someone had an idea of, no indirect fire with the Lerms. They only locked if you had a UAV or NARC or a tag on them indirectly, right? And then, although what was the best change they made? They quickly backed out when you had to hold to get a lock. You had to have it right on the center of the mech. Remember that? That went out quickly. Maybe some stuff like that, and I'd be okay with them increasing the velocity and that kind of stuff if they made it a little harder to game lock, hold lock.
Yeah, exactly. If you actually, and that's the other thing too is anymore with the if you have the right modules equipped, like the target decay and whatnot. You can hold lock for 3 seconds after someone goes out of your visual sight line, right? It's right now it's really easy to use Lerms, but they're kind of shit to make up for it. If you made Lerms even a semi-skilled weapon through a variety of changes you can do, and then up the damage, make it spread less, make it more accurate, so instead of 6 out of your 10 Lerm 10 rounds hitting, it's actually 9 out of 10.
Sensors
whatever you want to do to it.
Online.
But I still think ultimately the thing that saves Lerms and not even Lerms is ATMs, and actually having variable ammo and variable variable round types available to you, even if it's just the base 3, 2, 1 damage rounds at various ranges.
Right.
That's the other thing too with once we're talking about ATMs and whatnot, and seeing as how currently the timeline's through 3052 according to PGI, at least all tech is available to us through 3052. I mean, if they want to jump another couple of years again at the end of this year, it wouldn't be super hard for them. I don't remember when like MRMs come out, but I don't think that's too much later. And that would be it'd be at least interesting because it's another dumbfire weapon, but you can get really, I mean, there's like MRM 40s that exist. Like, it's a whole lot of damage you can throw down range if you're willing to take the chance of, I have this weapon that doesn't immediately get to a target like a laser, or even, you know, it takes longer than a Gauss rifle or a PPC, but if it hits you, damn, it's going to do a lot of damage. Like, that would be, I mean, that's a weapon system I always found to be interesting. You know, that whole dice roll thing, like how confident are you with leading your target and knowing where they're going to be. Right. And also MRMs are great, you know, they're a great counter to slower heavies and, you know, your assaults, but then they're, you know, yeah, I mean, a direwolf will get murdered by MRMs, but like even the Executioner, now that it's out, going 71 base and then with mask on, you know, going 84 or whatever it is. I mean, you know, trying to lead that thing, like that's actually, you know, it's more of a skill-based weapon, but then you also get a really big reward if you land that shot properly.
Well, I think mass targets will always generally just be a bad choice for a weapon like that, just because.
Yeah, because
you can just like instantly stop.
Yeah.
So if they're paying attention, you're just not going to hit them.
New target acquired.
Yeah, that's fair.
Juliet. Kilo. King Crab Kilo.
Like, what is a Fatless going to do against MRMs except die? Terribly.
Die horribly. Just like
right.
that terrible.
Airstrike activated. New target acquired.
Kilo's open CT.
Target destroyed.
No.
Saved your life.
Target acquired.
Jaegermech going up the stairs.
New target acquired.
That right torso on him, hotel.
New target acquired.
Lost an arm. Missed the torso.
Gost, why do you bring up dot learns? Do you have a very strong opinion on it, or is it more of a generic question of the night?
New target acquired.
I think it's something that needs to be fixed. I think it's a weapon system that should be in the game, but should work better. But I think that they should be harder to utilize. It should be...
So literally what we said.
People complain
Acquired.
about whether or not it is a skill-based weapon
acquired.
or not.
It's not.
I'm not going to say that it is, but I'm certainly not going to say it's completely devoid of it.
But, you know, people always talk about positioning and that kind of stuff, but I mean, but those things hold true to any weapon system, right?
Yeah.
Good positioning
Target
helps
destroyed.
any weapon out, not just arms.
New target.
Oh, I hate
acquired.
not even being basic. This thing feels so slow.
Target destroyed.
No.
Target acquired.
Yeah, if the big thing for LRMs is positioning, well, that's the big thing for the direwolf as well. And what gets you more damage and more kills, the well-positioned
Gauss
LRM boat or the
rifle
well-positioned
destroyed.
direwolf?
Yeah, right.
Target
Or any
destroyed.
I'm
other
just gonna go with the
100-ton
direwolf
assault.
because I've broken 1,000 damage on that thing pretty easy by being in the right spot.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah, I mean, especially probably my biggest damage gains have been in the Daka Wolf, and you just get in the right spot and just, you know, hammer down, right?
Yeah, it's that DPS is crazy.
I mean, that's the ultimate, you know, argument against, you know, a learn player can say all they want. Oh, well, you still gotta, you know, move your mech around, whatever, blah, blah, blah. The only decent learn pilot is the one actually coming towards the front, and instead of, you know, having his missiles fly 900 meters where the guy knows that they're coming inbound for the next 17 seconds, and so he gets into cover, like the guy who's 250 meters off the guy, and spraying the guy down while he's taking fire from other people, and actually using his support mech in a support role. Like,
right.
You're at least causing him screen shake. You're at least causing him to take his eyes off the guy doing pinpoint damage. But even then, you're basically just relegating yourself to being... Yeah, okay, so yeah, you're causing some screen shake, and you're causing some general just damage to wherever, you know, your lerms hit. But even better would be if you were another guy 250 meters away, helping your lance mate
At
with
25%.
pinpoint weapons.
Target
Like,
destroyed.
you know, that's,
Yes.
Well, the only guy I would say I wish he would make a video would be J-Man with QQ, J-Man 5, especially when he's in Hunchback J. I mean, he knows how to do it. He's just behind the main guys. He's constantly firing. He's always moving. He's always with his group, you know. And I've been in games with him where he's 10, 1,000, 12, 1,200 damage and 2 or 3 kills because he's just constantly, right there in the battle.
because he's using the support weapon in a support role.
Yep.
The problem is that people, again, in that, low to mid elo bracket that are just like, herp to derp, I got a lock, and I'm gonna shoot. Oh, I lost the lock like 2 seconds after, I fired. So, those arms are useless. I'm not gonna move. I'm just gonna stay, back near my base, just sitting here. Somebody else will get me a lock eventually. I'll carry a
Right.
tag.
Can
Why would I want
y'all
a
hold
tag?
locks? Can y'all hold locks? Hold locks, please.
Hey guys, learns win matches.
LRMs. Get it right.
Oh, right, yeah. LRMs win matches.
LRMs. Ah, man. Well, this one definitely needs to get worked on a bit more. Felt pretty lackluster and slow out there.
It's because you're lackluster and slow out there.
That's entirely possible. I suck with a basic, not even basic assault mech. I'm just slow.
Well, it's the same. Actually, here, it'll be another more moment. For all of those out there who are not old giant whale veterans like everybody in this room, don't use your GXP on things other than assault mechs. However, the first day you get, you spend $120 like everybody in this room did on executioners, and you're like, oh hey, I got this shiny new toy. Assault mechs should not be leveled normally. They are terrible without at least basics. Go use that GXP you're sitting on and go at least get your basics. Honestly, I would get your basics and at least speed tweak. If not, just get down to elites. Like find the chassis you want, in which case it's going to be the Executioner D, and I would just all the way elite it, and then just work on your master once you get those double basics. But if you're not going to do that, at least do basics and then go get your speed tweak, because it's just so.
Prime, get the extra C builds, just move the D stuff.
Well, yeah, that's fair too. Yeah, well, but the thing is, since we don't know what quirks are going to be anymore,
Well, it doesn't make a difference, right? Because
the
Latinx is almost never the CT.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly.
It's tied to whatever the Omnipods are.
Yeah, that's
I don't know. But
So yeah, just
regardless,
take your Prime, your Invasion Prime, make that the one you master, and just basic the rest of them, because you're never going to take more than one Executioner anywhere, even in CW.
Nope,
See-
take 2. And
see, I'm pretty sure that we're supposed to utilize the assaults when we're leveling them up as a humbling experience.
The Direwolf is a
I did
most
that
humbling
once.
experience.
It was called a whale. I'll never do it
Yes.
again.
Well, that works for me. Anyway, it's well after 11 o'clock Eastern. So, this has been the BearNet. Again, if you guys like what you saw, please check us out again next Monday, 9:30 p.m. Eastern, another news night. Hopefully, we'll have some more things out there for you. In addition to that, the normal shenanigans, things we do to try to make things entertaining for you. So, as far as that's concerned, I mean, I realize we didn't have a whole lot on our plates tonight. Yeah.
Go like and subscribe, etc. Because I don't want to say UGEC anymore.
UGEC, yes.
Right.
Please look us up on YouTube and please
Yeah,
subscribe.
Yeah, please give us a subscription on UGEC. Because UGEC is best GEC.
Let us become YouTube TheBearNet.
You know what?
It's
Actually,
much
Exactly.
easier to say.
honestly, if I get the option, I might just name us youtube.com/UGEC.
You freaking would.
I would hurt you.
I mean, I've
But
been doing it for a year, man. Like, it's ingrained now.
make sure that when you guys do subscribe, it's when he is on vacation and I can take the reins there. I'm trying to get this stuff out.
So
Oh, man.
called UGEC.
That's all good. But yeah, also in addition to that, we've got Noxon's Nook on every Wednesday at 10:30 p.m. Eastern. And other various stream nights that we're supposed to be streaming, but we have not yet. Apologize for that.
Yeah,
I blame Alex. Yeah, work in progress. Hey, it requires time, effort, 2 things of which we do not have.
We've been doing this for a while. We suck at this still. We're working on it.
It's
we
okay.
suck just as much as we used to, though, and that's the important thing.
At least we're
It's the
consistent.
same amount of suck the whole time.
But Alex especially likes to suck the D.
Oh, I'm all on the
Mhm.
D.
No. It's all about having the D on the B executioner. So that's what's it's all about.
Which replaces
Anyway.
Wang.
Y'all have a good night, and we will see you again next time.